So today we are going to be learning of problems that mix power of product and dividing monomials by monomials with negative exponents. And I have written the steps for power of product, which is step 1, multiply the coefficient by the exponent that's outside the parentheses. Step 2, multiply the variable's exponent by the exponent outside. Step 3, then multiply your final equation at the end. And I have also written the steps for dividing monomials by monomials with negative exponents. The first step is to use the first and second steps of power of a product, which are up here. Step 2 is to simplify your fraction. Step 3 to subtract your variables that are alike, and the variable that has the biggest number stays where it is, and we erase the other one. Now, I've put an equation for power of product, and I'm going to demonstrate how to solve this equation the correct way. So we are going to multiply 10 times 10, which is equal to 100. And the reason I did that was because this 10, like it says on your step 1, you have to multiply the coefficient by the exponent that's outside the parentheses, which is 2. So it's going to be 10 in the parentheses and 2. So 10 times the same number twice. So 10 times 10, which is 100. Now we are going to do the x, which is negative 3, times 2. Now in this one, we just multiply negative 3 times 2. Like it says, we just multiply the variable's exponent by the exponent outside. So we're not going to do negative 3 times negative 3, just negative 3 times the exponent that's outside, which is 2. And that is going to equal negative 6. And then our other step is negative 5, which is y, negative 5 times 2, which equals negative 10. Now we are going to put these together. So 10 x negative 3y negative 5 squared, it equals 100 x to the negative 6th power and y to the negative 10. Now that's our answer for this equation. Now we are going to do 6, this one, which is going to be 6 3 or cubed, which is technically 6 times 6 times 6, and that would equal 216. And now we are going to do the exponents by the exponent outside the parentheses, which is 7 times 3, which equals 21, and we're going to do 12 times 3, which equals 36. And this equals 216 x 21 and y 36. So these are our final answers: 100 x negative 6, y negative 10, and 216 x 21, y 36. Now we're going to go to our third step, which is multiply your final equations at the end, which is these two. So we are going to multiply those, which is going to be, so we're just going to put it over here. Now we're going to multiply these. We are going to do 100 times 216, which equals 116. Oh. So that is our answer for 100 times 216. And then we're just going to we're going to add the variables together, which are these. We're just going to combine those. So it's going to be -6 plus 21, which equals 15. So it's going to be x to the 15th power. Now I'm going to do y, which is -10 plus 36. And -10 plus 36 equals 26. So we have these two and this one. So that is going to be our final answer. So it equals so this is our final answer. From this equation. So this is our answer. That's for doing power of a product. And now we are going to go to dividing monomials by monomials with negative exponents. So we are going to do that just right here at the bottom. With negative exponents, and we are going to use, for this one we are going to use let's put 4x squared -squared and y cubed, and put a 2 out here. We're just going to put that over, since we're dividing, we're going to put it as a fraction. It's going to be the bottom one, -4 x to the 5th, and then y squared, and then just put cubed, or 3. So these are going to be our outside ones. Now how we're going to do this is the same thing as power product. Like, we're going to follow the steps here. So step 1, we have to use first, second steps of power of product. So technically it's kind of the same, but we use like the same steps, step 1 and step 2, like we did on power of a product. So we are just going to multiply, parentheses 2, which is the same thing as 4 times 4, which is 16, right? Which is 16, and then just multiply the variable exponent and the exponent outside, which is -2 times 2, which equals -4, and 3 times 2, which is 6. Now we have that, which is 16 x -4 y 6. Now that's for the top one. Now we're going to do the bottom part, which is going to be -4 cubed. So it's going to be same thing, -4 times -4 times -4, which that would equal -64. Now that's we're going to do 5 times 3, which equals 15, and 2 times 3, which equals 6. Now we're going to take these numbers. These are our final. I forgot to circle these. But these are our final, which would equal -64 x 15th and y 6th. So now technically a kind of simplified version of that. We just simplified it. So there's a top 16x negative 4 y 6. So that's our top part. And our bottom part is going to be negative 64 x to the 15th and y to the 6th. Now that we have simplified our fractions, well, not yet. So technically just pretend that these variables are here and it's just 16 over negative 64. So if we divide that, that would equal negative 1/4. So that's a simplified version of 16 over negative 64, which would equal negative 1/4. Now we go to our third step, which is subtract our variables that are alike. So I'll technically combine these terms and just subtract them. And the variable that has the bigger number stays where it is, and the other one, we erase the other one. So in this one we have x, we have negative 4 and 15. So 15 is obviously the biggest number, so we'll leave it on the bottom and we don't put anything at the top. Now we subtract 15 minus 4, 15 minus negative 4, which would equal 19. So we put 19 right here. And then we have 6, y, for the y, we have 6 and we have 6. So that's the same, so we just leave it. So just subtract it. 6 minus 6 is 0, so we put nothing on the top. And this is our final answer. Negative 1/4. Yeah, x 19 at the bottom. And that's how we do dividing monomials by monomials with negative exponents. Now just a little review of what we have done here. So for power of a product, we multiply the coefficient, which is the number, by the exponent that's outside the parentheses. Step 2, multiply the variable's exponent by the exponent outside. So the variable's exponent at the top, we multiply by the one that's outside the parentheses. Step 3, we multiply our final equation at the end, like we did right here, which is right here. We multiply these final equations that we got here. We multiply them together to get this final equation. Now we have dividing monomials by monomials with negative exponents. We use the first and second step of power of a product. First and second steps of power of product. The second step is to simplify our fraction, like we did here. When we simplified this, we got 16 over negative 64. We divided that and we got it to a negative 1/4. Then when we do that, we still have our variables, so we are going to subtract our variables that are alike, and the variable that has the biggest number stays where it is, and we erase the other one, so the other one disappears. And that is how you do problems that mix power of a product and dividing monomials by monomials with negative exponents.